Welcome to IT Tutorials. In this video, I will show you how to create new Active Directory user accounts, and then I'll also show you how to manage different properties for those user accounts. So I've logged on to Windows Server 2022 and I've logged in with the domain admin account. I've already installed Active Directory role on this server and promoted this server to domain controller. So the first thing you need to do is open Server Manager. And then in Server Manager, go to Tools, and we are going to use Active Directory Users and Computers tool to manage and create user accounts. So click on Active Directory Users and Computers. When you open Active Directory Users and Computers, you will see your domain name on the left hand side. So this is the domain that I have installed, mydomain.local. And if I expand this domain, then I could see the built-in containers. So all these containers are by default created to hold different type of objects. So in this video, we are going to create user type of object, and the default container to hold user accounts is users container. So right click users and then go to new and click on user, and it will open up the window to create new object which is of type user. So we'll have to first type the name. So I'll just type the first name and the last name. The full name section will automatically display first name and last name. And then we'll have to fill user logon name. So let me type user logon name, and the same value will be displayed here below. This value is also known as SAM account name. So this user is created in this domain. So user ID at the rate domain name. This complete string is known as user principal name or UPN. And this UPN is used to log into the computer. So in this case, if this user wants to log into the computer, he will type jbon at mydomain.local, or he can also type my domain \jbon. So both these values are used for logging into the computer. Then click next. Now here you will have to set the password for this account. So normally you can create a password which is of 8 characters and which is a mix of letters and numbers. So I'll just type some password. And after typing the password, you have few options here. So the first option says user must change password at next logon. What this means is when user will try to log into the computer with this password, he will be prompted to set a new password. So this option is normally enabled because as admin, when you set a new password for the new user account, and if you select this option, you can allow the employee or the user to set his own password. Let's say if you don't want to check that box, then you have few more options that you can select. So for example, you can say user cannot change this password. So if you select this option, then the password that you have set is the permanent password in the sense that nobody will be able to change this password except you. Only admin will be able to change, but not the user. Then the third option that you have is password never expires. So if you select this option, then the password will not expire after the duration is completed. So normally there is a group policy which is applied at the domain level, and that policy has certain expiration duration for user account passwords. So let's say password will expire in 90 days. So if that is the policy for the password, then the password needs to be changed after 90 days. But if you select this particular option, then the password will never expire and that particular policy will not be applicable on this account. And then the last option is account is disabled. So if you select this option, then the user account that you will create will be created in disabled state and the employee will not be able to use this account to log into the computer. So this is normally useful if, let's say, there is a situation where employee is going to join the company after 2 days, and as admin, you have created this account today, and the employee is supposed to use after 2 days. Then for the next 2 days, you can create the account and keep it in disabled state for security purpose. And then once the employee joins and wants to use this account, then you can remove this check mark and enable the account. So these are the four options that you can check when you set the password for the account and then click next and then click finish. We have our new user account displayed. Now I'm going to show you how to manage different properties of this new user account. So before you start modifying any of the properties of the user accounts, make sure that you have enabled advanced features option in this tool. So click on view and then select advanced features. And if I go back to users container and double click the new user account that I had created, now I could see attribute editor tab here. So this tab will list all the properties that you want to manage. So one of the most common tab that you will use is the account tab. Under account tab, you have this option where you can unlock the account. So normally if there is a scenario where account is locked, then you will see a message here which says that account is locked and then you can select this option and unlock the account. You can also see here at the bottom there is a section called account expires. So you can set expiry date for the account itself. This is normally useful if some employee is going to leave the company, then you can set expiration date here for the account. And then there are a number of other options. Some of the options we have already seen when we set the new password. Then another important tab is organization. Here normally you can set the employee's job title, what department he's part of, and who is the manager for this employee. So all those things you can set here. If you want to set manager name, you can click on change and then select manager's user account. Another important section is member of. So member of section will list all the groups that this user account is part of. So by default, whenever we create a new user account, then the new user account is part of domain users security group. So if you want to add this user account to any of the other security groups, then you can do that from this member of section. You can click on add and then type the group name and add the user. And then you can click on object tab. In the object tab, you can see canonical name of the object. So this property will show you the location of the object in Active Directory. If you could see here, it says mydomain.local, which is the domain name, then / users, which is the container in which we have created this account, and then / name of the account. Then you can click on attribute editor to manage any of the other properties. So let's say if you want to set email address for this account, then you can go to proxy addresses property, and in proxy addresses you could go on adding the different email addresses that you want to link with this account. So you can set different properties here. Let's say if I want to set the department, let's say this employee is part of HR department. So I'll set the value HR and click OK. And after modifying the property, click on apply and then click on OK. You can also go to the property when created and you can check when this particular user account was created in Active Directory. So this way you can manage different properties for the user account. Now let's say you have created this user account and you just want to change the password for this account. So you can simply right click user account and click on the option reset password and then type whatever password you want to set. And then again you can decide if you want to allow user to set his own password. If you want him to set his own password, you can select this option, user must change password at next logon. And you could also see the account lockout status, which is unlocked right now. If account lockout status is locked, then you can select this option, unlock the user's account, and then click OK. So it will show you that the password for this account has been changed. Let's say for some reason you want to disable this account. So you can simply right click the account and click on disable account. It will give you the message that account has been disabled. And if you could see, there is a change in the icon for this account. If you see now, there is a black downward arrow which was not there previously. So if you see this arrow, that means the account is disabled. If you want to enable this account, again right click and click on enable account. It will say account has been enabled and now the arrow is no longer there. Now let's say you want to change the location of this account within Active Directory. So right now we have created this in the users container. Let's say I want to move this account to a different container or different OU. Then simply right click and click on the option move. And then I can select where I want to place this user account. And now this user account is gone. Now if I go to that container, I could see account is moved to this new location. Now since this account has moved, if I double click the account and go to the object tab, I could see the new path for this account. Now if you want to delete this account, then you can simply right click and click on the option delete. It will ask for the confirmation. Are you sure you want to delete this account? And then if you click on yes, the account will be gone. Now if you want to prevent this deletion, then you can go to the object tab and there is an option called protect object from accidental deletion. You can select this option, click on apply, click OK. Now if I try to delete this account, so I'll say yes, it will give me the error message that you do not have sufficient privileges to delete, or this object is protected from accidental deletion. So it's not allowing me to delete this account. That's because I have enabled the option to prevent deletion of this object. So this way you can create new user accounts and manage them through Active Directory users and computers. You can also use the tool called Active Directory Administrative Center to do all these tasks. That's also a different tool. So if you go to Tools section in Server Manager and click on Active Directory Administrative Center, you can again here go to the same location and you will see the same user account. You can double click and open it and you will be able to manage again all those properties. So this is also another tool that will allow you to manage user account. So in the next video, I'll show you how to create and manage groups in Active Directory. If you found this information useful, then please subscribe to IT tutorials. Thank you.